The Gospel of St. Mark, the 8th chapter. In those days when there was a very great company and had nothing to eat, Jesus called his disciples to him and said unto them, I have compassion on the people because they have now been with me 3 days and have nothing to eat. And if I send them away, fasting to their own houses, they shall faint by the way. For dyvers of them came from far. And his disciples answered him, Where should a body have bread here in the wilderness to satisfy these? And he asked them, How many loaves have ye? They said, 7. And he commanded the people to sit down on the ground. And he took the 7 loaves and gave thanks and broke and gave to his disciples to set before them. And they did set them before the people. And they had a few small fishes. And he blessed them and commanded to set them also before them. And they ate and were satisfied. And they took up of the broken meat that was left 7 baskets full. They that ate were in number about 4,000. And he sent them away. And anon he took ship with his disciples and came into the parts of downe. And the Pharisees came forth and began to dispute with him, seeking of him a sign from heaven, and tempted him. And he sighed in his spirit and said, Why does this generation seek a sign? Truly I say unto you, there shall no sign be given unto this generation. And he left them and went into the ship again and departed over the water. And they had forgotten to take bread with them, neither had they in the ship with them more than 1 loaf. And he charged them, saying, Take heed, beware of the leaven of the Pharisees and of the leaven of Herod. And they reasoned among themselves, saying, We have no bread. And when Jesus knew that, he said unto them, Why take ye thought, because ye have no bread? Perceive ye not yet, neither understand? Have ye your hearts yet blinded? Have ye eyes and see not? And have ye ears and hear not? Do ye not remember? When I broke 5 loaves among 5,000, how many baskets full of broken meat took ye up? They said unto him, 12. When I broke 7 among 4,000, how many baskets of the leavings of broken meat took ye up? They said, 7. And he said unto them, How is it that ye do not understand? And he came to Bethsaida, and they brought a blind man unto him, and desired him to touch him. And he caught the blind by the hand, and led him out of the town, and spat in his eyes, and put his hands upon him, and asked him whether he saw anything. And he looked up and said, I see the men, for I see them walk as they were trees. After that he put his hands again upon his eyes, and made him see. And he was restored to his sight, and saw every man clearly. And he sent him home to his house, saying, Neither go into the town, nor tell it to any in the town. And Jesus went out, and his disciples into the towns that belong to Caesarea Philippi. And by the way he asked his disciples, saying unto them, Whom do men say that I am? And they answered, Some say that thou art John Baptist, and some Elijah, and some one of the prophets. And he said unto them, But whom say ye that I am? Peter answered and said unto him, Thou art the Christ. And he charged them that they should tell no man of him. And he began to teach them how that the Son of Man must suffer many things, and be reproved of the elders, and of the high priests and scribes, and be killed, and after 3 days arise again. And he spoke that saying openly. And Peter took him aside, and began to chide him. Then he turned about, and looked on his disciples, and rebuked Peter, saying, Go after me, Satan, for thou savorest not godly things, but worldly things. And he called the people unto him with his disciples also, and said unto them, Whosoever will follow me, let him deny himself, and take up his cross, and follow me. Whosoever will save his life shall lose it. But whosoever shall lose his life for my sake, and the gospel's the same, shall save it. What shall it profit a man, if he should win all the world, and lose his own soul? Or else what shall a man give to redeem his soul again? Whosoever therefore shall be ashamed of me and of my words among this adulterous and sinful generation, Of him shall the Son of Man be ashamed also when he comes in the glory of his Father with the holy angels.
Let's take a moment to appreciate the language used in our reading, the language of early modern English. This was the world of William Tyndale, the English of the early 1500s, the English that gave shape to how generations would hear and understand the Bible. At first glance, it might sound formal, even strange, but it's closer to our speech than it seems, just textured differently, slower, weightier, woven with rhythm. It's a transitional English, not yet Shakespeare, not quite modern. It carries an older grammar, a simpler vocabulary, and a deep sense of purpose. One thing you'll notice is how the grammar feels inverted, backwards to modern ears. We hear lines like, "Have you not eyes? Do you not yet understand?" The questions are turned inside out. The emphasis lands differently. It makes you listen a little more carefully, doesn't it? You'll also hear pronouns that we've mostly lost. Thou, thee, thy, ye, once familiar to everyone, now mostly poetic or misunderstood. Then there are the words themselves. Some have changed meaning. Meat once meant any food at all, not just flesh. Suffer meant to allow, to permit, not just to endure pain. Leaven was yeast, but it also meant the slow corruption of an idea or a people. And some words have simply faded away. Fain, meaning gladly. Whence, meaning from where. Marveled, to be astonished in a holy sort of way. Tyndale was careful with his vocabulary. He chose short, strong, grounded words, mostly from Old English roots, words a plowboy could understand. Yet the result is lyrical, poetic, sharp-edged. Listen again to the balance. What shall it profit a man if he shall gain the whole world and lose his own soul? The symmetry, the weight, the stillness at the end of the line. Or this, "Get thee behind me, Satan." Not an explanation, not a lecture, just a line of thunder. Spelling, too, was still wild in Tyndale's time. You might see Iesus instead of Jesus, or hand for hand. That wasn't a mistake. It was simply the way things were written then. Consistency would come later. That's why, in this reading, you'll hear some spellings gently modernized to help our digital narrators speak clearly, but the cadence and the structure remain. Above all, early modern English invites us to slow down, to listen again, to sit with phrases that ask not only what they mean, but what they do to us when spoken aloud. This language shaped hearts and minds for centuries. And if it still lingers in your ear after the reading, then it's done its work.